So my sense is that when people come to the pulpit with no manuscript, it's important for preachers to know there is a written manuscript behind, a very detailed, and you describe that process. But also in the pulpit, there is oral composition. You're composing. So give me your feedback, because I don't want preachers, not that you said this, it's just some people think that it's either more spiritual not to have a manuscript or that somehow you just get it and there's not all this work that's behind it.
Yeah. You know, whenever I teach preaching, I always tell people that one of the mistakes that preachers make when they're watching very effective communicators is they think that the answer is in the pulpit to their effectiveness. The answer, the key is not in the pulpit. The key is everything that happened before then. Okay? And so, you know, I don't believe that you get up in God. You know, people use that text where he says, don't worry when you're drugged before the magistrate, just open your mouth. Well, that's an emergency situation. That's when you don't have a chance to prepare. But otherwise, study to show yourself approved. So you can't get water out of an empty bucket. So if you haven't prepared anything, so usually if you see someone without manuscript who's effective, a lot of work has gone into it, particularly, and I think the shorter it is, the harder it is. So a lot of work has gone into it. And I've used full manuscripts when I want to be very precise and detailed, or depending on the setting. I preached for Lot Carey one time, and it was on mission. So I preached this one, and I didn't want to miss a lot of what I wanted to say. So I brought the whole thing there. But no, a lot of work goes into it before you get there. Now, I can get away these days with, on occasions, not doing the whole thing, writing the whole thing out or whatever, but I've been doing it for almost 40 years, and I preach 6 times a week, so I get a lot of practice. And I was a full manuscript preacher for years, and what happens in that process is you train your mind to think through things. One of the things that happens when preachers are in preparation who don't do a full manuscript, and I always tell them, whether you just want to use an outline or not, at least still write it out, because writing it out makes you think through the thoughts and makes you choose the words. But what happens is they'll get a great thought and they'll think, oh, that's a great thought. And they think that because they got a good thought and they stand in front of their mirror, that this is gonna be good when I do it. But they hadn't thought it through. And standing in front of your mirror and then standing in front of those people is not the same experience.